Hello everybody, it's Jordan the Computer Scientist here, and today I'm a mathematician. Okay, so there were two things that I was really struggling at before I got into calculus, and I don't know how I passed pre-calculus, but I did it anyway. It was logarithms and it was trigonometry. I went over logarithms in the past two math videos, and now I'm moving on to trig. I remember one lesson in Calculus 2 really relied on trig identities heavily, and they are weak. So guess what I'm going to be teaching you guys today? Trig identities. Okay, so if we look here, we have our basic identities. We have sine, which equals y, cosine, which equals x, and tangent, which is y over x. And then you have the reciprocal identities, which are cosecant, which is 1 over y, cotangent, which is 1 over y over x, or if you flip that, you have x over y, and then you have secant, which is 1 over x. Now, if you look, you can easily replace these x's and y's with sine and cosine. So 1 over sine is going to be cosecant, and 1 over cosine is going to be secant. Cosine over sine is cotangent, and sine over cosine is tangent. So using what we have just learned, we have cotangent times sine. Now, if you want to know what this equals, all you have to do is just break it down. So sine can't be broken down anymore, but cotangent can be broken down. So remember, cotangent is actually cosine over sine. So we have cosine over sine times sine. Now, if we divide sine by 1, we'll then have cosine times sine over sine. And you can cross these two out, which will give you cosine. So our answer is cotangent times sine equals cosine. Trig identities actually aren't that hard as long as you memorize the basic identities and the reciprocal identities and the Pythagorean identities, which I'm about to get into. So sine squared x plus cosine squared x equals 1. 1 plus cotangent squared x equals cosecant, and tangent squared x plus 1 equals secant squared x. Now you can alternate. So if you want to know what cosine squared x equals, all you have to do is subtract the sine from both sides, and you'll have 1 minus sine squared x, and that is going to equal cosine squared x. And you can do that to all of them. It's a lot to go over. My phone's about to die, so I'm not. So here we have cotangent squared x times 1 plus tangent x. Also remember, it doesn't matter which order it is if it's addition, because addition is commutative. So tan squared x plus 1 and 1 plus tan squared x are the same thing. Yeah, so tan squared x plus 1 equals secant squared x. So you can just replace this with secant squared x times cotangent squared x. Now you can still break these up even further. So remember, cotangent is cosine over sine. So you have cosine squared x over sine squared x times, and we can also do secant, which is 1 over cosine. Now we can combine these, and if we were to do that, we would get, my board was about to fall, my lord. Okay, so we have cosine squared x over sine squared x cosine squared x. And we can cross out our cosines, which will leave us with 1 over sine squared x. And what is 1 over sine squared x? Cosecant squared x. Because remember, 1 over y, 1 over sine is cosecant. Now, I still do not like math. I would like to stop there, but I feel like 2 examples just isn't enough. So I guess I'll do a third one. So here we have secant, cotangent, and sine all multiplying together. Let's break them down. So we have 1 over cosine x times cosine over sine x times sine x. Now let's say we combined all of these. Well, we will have to make sine a fraction. So put that over 1, And if we combine everything, we will have cosine x times sine x all over cosine x times sine x. And what happens when one thing is divided by itself? One. So hopefully my brief overview of trigonometric identities has helped you as much as it helped me, because I'm teaching so I can learn, so I can pass calculus too. But anyways, thank you for watching my video. Thank you for following my journey. I really want to pass calculus too, so I can get this computer science associates and feel a lot better about myself. Probably gonna start going for jobs. Don't forget to join my Discord and follow me on all of my social medias. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm gonna see you guys in my next video. Thanks.
I'm a goat, no, I'm really vicious. Got heads turning when I get the spitting. Since 16, I've been making greatness, bagging bad girls when they start to listen. Been great, so you must have missed it. Creative genius, friends are leaving.